Welcome to another episode of Diva Court. I'm your host, Marcia Mino, and with me is First Lady Pastor.
Oh, you got it.
First Lady Pastor, co-diva, Dana Smith.
Can you ask the deaconess to bring me my prayer cloth?
Oh, she needs a prayer cloth. She is too sexy for this church. I'm too sexy for my shirt. She's too sexy for this shirt. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming at you live because we know you need your edutainment tonight before you go to bed. Think about how well our listeners sleep when they watch Diva Court before they go to bed.
Hopefully they don't fall asleep on us. But actually, if you do, we still get that view.
Hey, I'll take your view. Even to keep your phone on while your eyes are closed. Just hold it in your hand.
We'll take that view.
Don't put your phone down. Just keep it there. This show is for edutainment purposes only. We've got
We have to do it like we're in the choir.
Oh.
Okay, so are you going to be soprano or are you going to be alto?
I'll do alto.
Okay.
Alto.
So say it one more time.
This show is for edutainment purposes only. Oh my God, no, that didn't work out, listeners. I apologize. I know you are trying to listen before you go to bed, but here's what we don't want you to do is turn us off. Okay. So forgive us. But coming out of the blocks tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the Young Thug trial. It's the gift that keeps on giving in the Fulton County Superior Court. Judge Glanville, this week, this June 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th week, has issued a warrant, not issued a warrant, but has held Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, in contempt. What's your take?
What is this world coming to? We got the president in jail, lawyers going to jail.
Hey, just put them all in jail.
Lock them up. President
Lock them up.
Getting guilty.
Your former president started it. He started the lock up theme. He said, lock them up. Lock her up. Lock them up.
Everybody can get it.
Everybody go to. You go to jail. You go to jail.
Everybody.
They're giving out jail time like how Oprah was giving out cars.
I miss
all right.
that.
So listeners, let me tell you what happened. Brian Steele is a very prominent attorney in Atlanta, Georgia. He does criminal defense work. Very good criminal defense work.
Wait, before you finish, do you need me to take this story since you may see this particular judge?
I have no problems with checking Judge Glanville. Because I've checkmate Judge Glanville before. Okay? Listeners, I'm going to tell you a very interesting story about my experience with Judge Glanville and what's going on after I tell you about Brian Steele.
Okay.
So Brian Steele is a prominent attorney here in Atlanta, Georgia. He does very good criminal defense work. His firm is very well known. They are the creme de la creme when you're looking for a criminal defense attorney.
Okay.
So his $52 million man, which a whole lot of people don't know, that Young Thug is not necessarily a thug financially because he makes good money. Okay? So in court this week, well, let me rewind, listeners. Last week, the state called a witness, and the witness had immunity. And based on his immunity, he was supposed to testify on behalf of the state to incriminate the defendants on trial. Well, the witness takes the stand and says, I plead the fifth. And Judge Glanville says, no, you cannot plead the fifth. You have immunity. You must tell what the state needs you to tell to get this conviction. I have a problem with that, but we're going to get back to that.
Okay.
So the witness says, nope. Glanville says, well, you're going to jail. And the witness says, I'll go to jail. So you go to jail, you go to jail, you go to jail. The witness.
So wait, so the witness wasn't in jail before?
No, the witness was
they just
free.
Found him from.
Walked into the courtroom and Glanville held him in contempt last Friday, the 7th, June the 7th. Okay? So the witness goes to jail.
Can they compel you to testify?
I guess they can.
If
there's no appellate court judge in the room.
But is that legal?
We'll find out when it gets to the appellate court. I don't think it is, but Judge Glanville seems to think it's legal. So I think it's too close to coercion. I think it's too close to coercion. The state had already, Fonnie Willis and her prosecutor's office had already decided.
Like she's always in some
Hey,
mess.
ma'am, I don't know how you going to, well, she just won her election, so let me not talk about how she's going to keep her seat because she kept it. But They have about 100,000 people listed on that witness list. Okay? Why would you need this guy that desperately when you could just call somebody else of the other cooperating to corroborate? Okay? But that's just my free part. So the witness gets put in jail for the whole weekend, listeners. And he's in custody and he's supposed to appear back Monday morning, right? So Monday morning trial starts. And what happens? According to Brian Steele, he gets wind that Judge Glanville, the prosecutor, and the witness were in Judge Glanville's chambers having an ex parte conversation. And part of the ex parte conversation included threats by the prosecutor to the witness that he gonna spend his whole time in custody if he doesn't testify. He's can do a whole lot of time, and that's too coercive.
A whole lot of time for
yes,
what?
Yes, for not wanting to go forward
And that's
with
a
the
statute.
testimony. What
That's
statute?
That's right.
That's called coercion, man. You cannot coerce a witness to testify. In fact, there's colloquy where somebody is taking a plea that the judge asks the person, are you being promised anything? Is anybody coercing you? Are you being threatened by anyone to take this plea or to enter this plea? Sir, the reason why that language exists is so that people don't do things against their free will.
I know, you know what? I always say that. I remember when I was in traffic court and
And you
they
said,
asked
yeah,
me
y'all
that,
are.
And I said, yes. I feel like the prosecutor or whoever is coercing me
remember
to
that.
take this deal.
Ma'am, is there anything coercive? Yeah,
Yeah,
her.
right. Like,
Him.
I asked for community service because I don't have the money. I don't have the money, and I feel coerced to do this.
So look at here.
And they gave me community
I
service.
can see the Court of Appeals in your future, Judge Glanville, Madam Prosecutor, because I think that is too far.
Isn't that a bar complaint?
So it's more than a bar complaint. It's a bar complaint against the prosecutor. It's a JQC against the judge. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Now, Mr. Steele, Brian Steele, questions about the ex parte conversation, and Judge Glanville's poof loses his mind.
So tell me, what he said?
So Brian Steele questions, hey, were you in the judge's chambers? Were you coerced by any of the
So wait. So all right. They come in.
So the witness takes the stand.
All right.
Witness takes the stand.
Witness takes the stand on Monday.
And Brian Steele begins to question the witness about.
So the prosecutor questions them, and he is answering the questions.
Correct. Because
Because
now he's coerced.
He's coerced.
Properly softened up, seasoned, and ready to talk.
Okay.
Because I'm going to cooperate, because I don't want to spend the whole trial. And remember, this trial is estimated to last to 2027.
I'm about to spend for a witness.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I have never heard of it. Let me see. 23.
All right, I got to step in here. What?
Yes. 20.
Isn't that a violation of a speedy trial?
Hey, violation of all trials.
2027.
2027.
They're going to spend more time in jail than actually.
No, the trial's going to last longer than you can be convicted in.
And then
Sir,
and to add to
what
that,
is
that just sounds like you running down. You're depleting my funds,
Hey.
so I can't give myself a proper.
2027.
This is
That's 4 years worth of buffoonery. Sir, what are you doing? This is not how it's supposed. That's why people lose trust in the judicial system. When they see stuff like that, they're like, I told you they're not fair. I told you they're corrupt. I told you it's fake news. Prosecutors and defense counsels, they all work together, yada, yada, yada. They say things, and this is corroborating what their thoughts are when it shouldn't be doing that.
okay. So
2027.
27.
I'm just making sure.
27. We heard it today, not
we
yesterday.
sure did.
Today. We verified. 2027. Never heard of such. Never heard of such. But it's reasonable if you're going to allow 100,000 witnesses to be called by the state because they're so desperate
100,000
to convict that they're.
You need 100,000. That means your case is holy
Whack.
moly.
Whack. Because most convictions are had within a week. That says.
The jury is going to
That
sit there
says,
from
are you serious? Those people must be fuming. They probably can't wait to say, I don't feel well. I need a doctor's excuse because I can't keep this up.
Wait,
I
are
can't
they
even
doing
believe. Wait. You got to be on jury duty for 4 years.
So who is paying these people bills?
$25 a day.
This is unconstitutional.
Okay. So,
as a juror, I feel like you are in violation of my.
sir, I need a lawyer.
After this case, I need 25
I'm a
an
juror,
hour.
and I'm gonna have to sue the state.
Right. This
False
is,
imprisonment.
right. This is kidnapping.
False imprisonment.
Entrapment. Something. Okay, so he goes up there.
Judge Glanville realizes
No.
that his
You
secret is out.
No. You didn't say the secret. So Brian Steele goes up there. And
Brian
he
Steele
says,
reveals by questioning,
okay.
hey, how'd that meeting go this
Oh,
weekend?
is that what he said?
How'd that meeting go? Do you feel coerced? Do you feel threatened? So he's questioning the person.
So that was his statement. How that meeting go?
And Glanville went off because Glanville thinks, based on his communication to Brian Steele during the whole debacle, was that's a sanctimonious chambers and sanctimonious. Hold on, Pastor. Hold on, Pastor.
Are you baptized?
Pastor.
What's going?
I know you got on a robe,
Is
sir.
this holy ground?
But that robe is a legal robe, not a church robe.
Jesus, is that you? Like, what we doing?
So I don't know where he got sanctimonious meeting from with an ex parte communication with a. Think about this. You're having ex parte communication with the prosecutor present, defense counsels are not present. And this is with a witness, not a regular witness, not a regular I'm volunteering witness, not a regular I will participate witness. A witness you just put in jail Friday.
Right.
And took out of jail on Monday,
right.
Brought to your chambers to let him know how things are really going to work in your courtroom. Sir, you don't see that? Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and the whole blind community.
Might need to go speak to that witness to be his attorney.
The visually impaired community can see that that's a problem for you, Judge. That's a problem for you. So
wait.
Judge Glanville says,
If he got immunity, that means he had did he have a lawyer?
At this time, juncture, I don't even know.
Oh,
because things are so off the rails that I can't tell you what is. I can tell you what's supposed to have happened. He was supposed to have counsel, and whether it was public defender or private counsel or C3 contracted out, I don't know. I don't know. But all I'm telling you is the appearance of impropriety will ruin a judicial system. It will ruin judicial system.
This whole case is
this case is ruining Fulton County, in my opinion. It's kind of like Brian Nichols' case. Remember that when we prosecuted Brian Nichols, sought the death penalty when we could have just offered him life, tried that case, put a whole thing together when everybody watched that man on national TV shoot up the place. And you still wanted to try that case because Paul Howard refused to offer him life in prison. No defense counsel. Let me talk to this camera. No defense counsel. Let me talk to that camera. No.
I don't think they can see
okay,
you
that
over
camera
there.
can't see me. No defense counsel anywhere on earth can take a plea to death. None of them. Can you imagine that? You go to your client and say, hey, guess what? I got a great deal for you. The state has made us offer. I think we can resolve this case absent a trial. Okay, what's the offer? Death penalty. Excuse me? Yeah, they offer you death. Do you want to plead? Wait, I'm going to plead to death? Yeah, you're going to plead to death.
I'm going to take my chances.
Let's try this. 50-50 shot, the jury might say, throw out that count, throw out that count, throw out that count. It might have one and it's not death penalty. Hello? Who would do that? So if the offer is death, you try your cases. So sometimes, listeners, when you're watching a trial and you're like, wait, I don't understand. Why did they go to trial if the evidence is clear, there's video, because the offer was ridiculous. And we cannot walk in as defense counsel and ask our client to take a plea to ridiculous. Ridiculous came in the room and said, they'd like to offer you death, sir. I look
did
ridiculous.
He get death?
Who?
The guy.
No, he did not. Brian Nichols, remember, Brian Nichols got life in prison. So the jurors still, after all of that, depleted the indigent defense fund completely. And the man still got what you could have offered him.
For free.
Paul Howard, for free. And saved.
And hence why you're not
hence
in office.
Why you are gone.
So I guess
and Fonnie Willis is
Fonnie's
looking to be
next.
right behind you.
Fonnie's next.
She said, can I be next? But I get back to the story of Brian Steele. So Judge Glanville now starts hammering Brian Steele to ask him, how did you find out about that meeting? So he says, I can't tell you.
Did he tell the jury to leave?
Oh, yeah, this is outside the presence of the jury. How did you find out about my meeting? Sir, I can't share that with you. How did you find out about my meeting? Sir, I can't share that with you. How did you find out? I'm about to hold you in contempt. How did you find out about that meeting? Sir, if I am to share with you how I found out about that meeting, and this clip I saw for myself, it would violate attorney-client privilege.
How did
Yeah,
you find
listeners, moment of silence.
out? How did
Is
you?
that not
the
a
answer?
cue to the
That is
judge?
the answer.
It came from my client,
Right.
and I can't tell you
Right.
because if I say that, I would be violating attorney-client privilege because
Right.
I can't share with you what
But
my
he's
client
so- he's
shares
sitting
with me.
such
He's
on a high
so
horse.
tunnel vision,
Yeah.
mission blindness is what they call it in the flight industry, that he's not hearing the man say, I can't share that with you because that would violate attorney-client privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Stop right there. You better tell me how you heard about it or you going to jail. Okay, no problem. So co-counsel Keith Adams stands up and says, I can't try this case all by myself. I need him. He's lead counsel on this case. And nope. This is not, I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing. This is Judge Glanville to the co-counsel. I'm not playing with you. This is not how it works. This is not how it works. It's not gonna work like that. You sit right.
He was like,
At this point,
"You're
put
not
me behind bars with that
Look,
one.
Can we all go to jail?
Can
Can we all go to jail?
You're not gonna extort the court.
That's what he was saying. This is that's not how it works. You're not gonna just say, oh, we can't go forward. This is gonna stop because no, I can't go forward. This is lead counsel. This is lead counsel. So he says, well, we're done. Sheriff, take Mr. Steele into custody. So of course, Brian takes off his jacket, takes off his tie, and calmly walks with the sheriff back to the cell. And what does Judge, and before Brian goes back to his cell, he says, Your Honor, may I put something on the record? He was like, go right ahead, Mr. Steele. I would like to move for a mistrial because my client has advised he does not want to proceed without me. And you are removing me from this trial. That is preventing me from being able to do my job for my client. So I'm moving for a mistrial, Judge, based on that. I'm going to take that under advisement.
No, he said motion. He said, I think you're going to deny the motion.
Yes, he said, he said you denied everybody else's motion.
Right.
Because he probably denied it for all the other defendants that moved for a mistrial. And he was like, so I'm moving for my client's mistrial based on the fact that you're not going to allow me to finish this trial.
Why would they ask him for a mistrial?
This debacle, you want to be part of this?
Oh, okay.
It's a wonderful clown show.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
and you say, not my monkey, not my circus. I want to be out of here. Can I go? Can we go and come back another day when trial is really going to happen?
Right.
Because right now we at the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey,
But
Glanville Circus.
But he had to perfect
Circus
the
du Soleil.
The circus is
Hey,
delayed.
the circus is delay. Okay, so Brian goes back. I guess he thinks about it. Probably read a few laws and said, well, I can do it. It's probably gonna get overturned. Doesn't matter. And he sentences him to contempt and 10 weekends in jail. 10 weekends in jail. He was like, Judge, I can't prepare for this trial by watching it on YouTube. I need to be in the courtroom. 10 weekends in jail, sir. Maybe you could watch YouTube from jail. So Brian Steele's wife, who is also an attorney, kudos to them as a team, has filed an appeal. And she's trying to get either, I guess, the sentence stayed or it's set aside based on the factual circumstances that happened. Now,
He's going to have to come off this case.
let me tell you something. Judge Glanville is going to come off the bench because if these John Creek's voters are upset about an African-American judge putting a very well-respected white male attorney,
A good white man.
a good white attorney in custody over buffoonery like this, an ex parte meaning that you're upset he found out about, instead of just saying nothing nefarious to see here, next, call your next witness. Call your next witness. No, I'm not denying any mistrial and I haven't coerced anybody. That's not what happened. Let's go. That's why you don't do it. Because now you're trying to explain to people that what they think happened is not what happened. And I am certain that young man came right up out of their meeting, told somebody, who got it right back to the client, and the client told the lawyer. That's how we usually hear stuff. Remember, we're not at the crime scene. we're at the crime scene, we'd be the defendant.
Man, what happened? What they bring you up in there for?
Yeah, if we're at the crime
they
scene.
want me to testify against Young Thug. They
Yeah.
said if I don't testify, I'm going to be in
Right,
there since 2027.
Right. They
I
threatened
don't
me.
even...
They threatened me.
Right.
They threatened me. Okay? And it got back to everybody. But I'm going to tell you my Glanville story, listeners. All right. So I am handling a divorce matter before the judge, the same Brian Steele judge. And Judge Glanville, we came to court. It's time to go to trial because we could not reach an agreement. And he did everything humanly possible to have us reach an agreement. So we get in the courtroom, set up on the table, ready to go. Opposing counsel sitting at the other table. And staff attorney comes out and says, the judge wants to know if y'all want a pretrial. Pretrial is an opportunity for the lawyers to go back, speak with the judge, tell the judge, hey, it's not uncommon. Pretrials are normal. Where you tell the judge, these are the remaining issues. We've resolved 5 things out of 10. We got 10 we need to try. So it's going to take you about a day, judge, or it's going to take us about 2 days, or I have an expert witness, or I don't have an expert, yada, yada. So she comes out and says, the judge wants to know if you all want a pretrial. That's a way for the court to say, do y'all want a pretrial? Meaning the court wants one. So I say, no, we don't want a pretrial. So she sachets back into the chambers, and she sachets back out a few minutes later and says, the judge wants to know if y'all want a pretrial. And I said, the other opposing counsel said, okay, I'll do a pretrial. And I said, no, I don't want a pretrial. So she sachets back into the chambers. She sachets back out and says, Judge Glanville said y'all need to come on back because y'all are going to engage in a pretrial. I said, well, if Judge Glanville wanted a pretrial, he should have just said that in the first place. Everybody in the courtroom was like, okay, this is going to be for an interesting day.
Right.
So we go back, we sit around his little conference table, and we're back there, and we're like, all right, so what are the issues? So they go first, and because they're the plaintiff, we're the defense. So we go, and it's like, so what are the issues? Every time I tried to explain, he would cut me off. So, of course, my steamer started steaming, and I just sat there straight up, and I just didn't say nothing. So I just let them speak, and everybody's speaking. Then he turns to me and is like, so what does your client want? I said, is it my turn now to explain?
Right.
So he was like, yeah, go ahead and tell me. So I explained what my client wants. And he was like, well, she's not getting that. Okay. All right. So you go back out there and tell her. I said, no. This attorney does not engage in backdoor deals. As people already believe, we have a perception.
He has a history of this.
We have a perception in the community that lawyers go back there and then they come up with something different from what they were telling me before they met with the judge, and then all of a sudden after they meet the judge, now that's a different lawyer that I'm dealing with, and now the lawyer's saying something different. So I was not going to ruin my reputation.
Right.
If we were getting a no, we were going to get it from the court. And on the record. So I said, no, can we go back out? The court reporter's waiting for it. Wait, let's see if we can resolve it. So we start spatting, meaning myself and the opposing counsel, and I finally flash out my race card because I keep a stack with the joker in the pack.
$5 million on them. On deck. You got them race cards on deck. I know no matter what.
Hey, I snatched my pack of race.
It's a platinum race card. Platinum one.
It's because I'm a
It don't bounce.
woman.
It don't check. It don't bounce.
Hey, it don't bounce. You heard what he said. You heard what the producer said. It don't check. And it don't bounce. Or it does check, but it don't bounce. So I take out my platinum card and I said, the reason you're saying she can't have what she wants is because she's black. And she was like, no, I'm not saying that. My best friend is black.
Oh, that's just confirmed it.
And I came back with my platinum card and said, and my best friend is white. So of course he goes, ladies, I can't take it. You can see that it was like fingernails on a chalkboard. I can't. Okay, she's right. She's getting what she's asking for. So we got what we were asking for. And she had to go out and tell her client why it went down the way it went down. So I'm telling you, and I say my story to say, he knows I'm the fingernails on the chalkboard kind of lawyer.
Don't play with her.
And I will not play that game.
Right.
So I would have showed up every Monday morning saying, what time should I turn myself in on Friday afternoon? Because I'm not going to be intimidated.
Right.
Okay? And I'm not going to be soft-spoken. And I'm going to perfect this record. Sir.
I remember you were talking about a particular case, and it might be this particular one, where you felt like the judge and the opposing counsel already had set what was going to happen, and they just was trying to get you on board.
Absolutely.
That was this one?
That's the same one. Everybody was trying. Everybody. Oh, he's not going to do this. I said, we just Just tell her you're not gonna do it, but let's do it on transcript. You can rule in any manner you so desire, judge. But can we just put it on the record?
Right.
Because coming behind me is going to be an appellate attorney.
Right.
And let me tell you what they're not gonna do. They're not gonna come to me and ask me, did you? Did you? Did you? Because that's what an appellate attorney does. They ask the trial attorney, did you? Did you do? Did you do?
Right.
And did you do? And did you do? So when they read my transcript, they say
They're going to
that
see
girl.
all the didgeridoos.
I did. And I did.
The didgeridids. We did that.
And I did.
Did you read it?
And I did.
Did you read?
I did. Okay. I did. And I did that too.
Did you read? Because you need to read. Okay? Because if you read your transcript, you got everything you need in it. Okay? So kudos to Brian Steele. Diva Court applauds you, sir. Fight the good fight out there because you're a constitutional defender. Never let them win. That's us on Diva
Never
Court.
let
Clap
them
him in.
see you
Sweat. Okay? That
He
man
didn't
took
sweat.
off that tie
took it
so
off.
cool and walked right back there and said, sure, I'll go sit in a cell because I'm not going to violate my constitutional oath to protect the Constitution of Georgia and the Constitution of the United States, or renege my promise to my client.
Whoop,
Kudos, kudos, kudos. So, Judge Glanville, I hope you're tight and right because
You about to get.
they coming.
They coming.
They are coming.
Maybe he wanted to retire.
Is that what it is?
He wanted to go out with a bang.
Listeners, the Diva
Bang,
says,
bang, bang.
when you want to go out with a bang, 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 you go ahead and do some foolery like this. Sham and a mockery.
You know, you have to watch. It's this show called Your Honor.
On what?
On Netflix.
Oh.
And Hal, whatever his name is, he actually was Hal on Malcolm in the Middle, but he's on Breaking Bad.
Okay.
So now he's the judge on Your Honor.
Wasn't he in another show that was on Netflix that was real popular? Ray? Something Ray?
No. He was on Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad.
No, the Breaking Bad guy also had another show that was popular.
No, you're thinking about Ray Donovan.
It's Malcolm
is
in
not
the
same
middle.
guy.
The
Oh,
dad,
okay.
the dad,
Okay.
and Malcolm in
Yeah.
the middle.
Okay.
So it's
It's called Judge.
It's called Your Honor.
Okay, Your Honor. I gotta watch
This
it.
judge, his son.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
You
I'm gonna watch it.
got to watch it. The premise is the son hits a kid, and the son leaves. He tries to help, but the kid dies. He kind of freaks out.
Oh, that
because
sounds like a Murdoch story.
he tries to help. The kid dies. He freaks out because he was already having an asthma attack when he hit the kid. And so he was reaching for his inhaler, and that's how he ended up hitting the kid. And so he went to go check on the kid. The kid spitting blood all over his
couldn't help, so
face,
he
and
ran,
couldn't help.
panicked.
And he was looking for his inhaler. Then he finally got his inhaler, and then it came to him like, oh my gosh, I just hit this kid. The kid is dead.
So
he
I
calls
take off.
911. He calls 911. He does all of these things, but he hits the kid. He calls 911, and he still runs.
Okay, I gotta watch it. I gotta
Yes.
watch it.
And then
I gotta get caught up. I gotta get caught up.
His dad.
I gotta get caught up. You can't tell me. You can't
These
tell
are the basic, like if you watch the trailer. His dad is the judge.
Okay.
And so it tells you.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yes.
Listeners, I'm gonna check it out so I could talk from knowledge,
Yeah.
not from college. Okay, that.
But just one thing before you move on to the next subject. Usually when somebody retires, they don't do something catastrophic. just to bring that out there. Your Delta pilot, when he retires, don't crash the plane.
I know. Well,
Hey, you know what? This is gonna be my last flight.
there was another
So,
show.
ladies and gentlemen, prepare.
There was another show I was watching that I was thinking about that too. It was Robert Downey Jr. was in it, and his dad was a judge, and his dad hit somebody too, but was going through cancer, so he didn't remember. But you know, they try to put it on him like he did it on purpose because this is the same guy that killed somebody else in another case, and he was like, I am not taking a plea. I'm not going to show weakness. You're not going to ruin my reputation.
Oh Lord, you going to prison?
Yeah, he did go to jail.
Don't try this at home,
Right.
listeners. All right, speaking of don't try nothing at home, Hunter Biden has been convicted. I wonder if Donald Trump think that trial's
Let's drink
fake.
to that.
I wonder.
We're not drinking a Hunter Biden.
I can't
being
drink a Hunter
convicted.
Biden's conviction. I can drink the Trumps.
He
Let me
was
tell you why I
he
can't
was
drink.
a crackhead with a gun.
That's my problem.
Oh.
The man is an addict, and we treat addict like sick people. We're supposed to, at least, because addicts are just like people who have cancer, just like people who have kidney problems. It's an illness. And over the years, we used to say, "Oh, just stop drinking." Now we know it's an addiction.
Just stop cracking.
That's what they say when it's
Well,
crack.
shouldn't have
But
got
let me
on
tell you what
crack
they say when it's
anyways.
pills. We have an opioid pandemic,
Well, no, this
an
one
epidemic,
he was on crack.
and we need to fix it.
It is all that.
No, the testimony was that he hadn't started taking drugs yet. He was still doing alcohol. So for all you drinkers out there, be careful how you fill out the FTA form when you're purchasing a weapon, because he was convicted for providing false information on an application to purchase a gun.
When that happened.
Because he wrote a book afterwards, and in the book he was talking about a time frame when he was an addict and
So
he
he
was
confessed.
an alcoholic.
You cannot
Girl,
confess
when
to
you're writing an
crimes.
autobiography, you confess to everything.
You
Can't
not-
self-snitching off.
You do not confess to crimes. You let an attorney. You run that
He
book by an
did
attorney.
not think his father was going to be president.
Remember? You redact those
Wait,
pages.
so this, wait.
Burn the books,
Was this
sir.
book written?
I really don't know the time frame,
Okay.
but we need to find that out.
We do.
Because if the time frame was I wrote the book and then my daddy became president, that would be the same as going out and getting DNA, trying to find your family members, not knowing your brother is a murderer. You can't plan for your family trying to do DNA and sending DNA out, and the next thing you know, the cops are knocking on your door
Right.
because they found the murderer and it's you. Okay, so Hunter Biden, sir, I think you need to call Donald Trump and ask, can y'all serve time together? Don't you think that would be a nice cell block meeting, Trump and Biden in jail together? Since you want to lock somebody up?
Prison office.
Yeah, running for prison office. Maybe Hunter Biden should run for president. That would make him more qualified now. He got convicted.
We gonna have the first convicted felon.
Hey, we can have
as
two.
president.
We get president and vice. I wonder if he's gonna be Trump's running mate. maybe, maybe Trump can make Hunter Biden his running mate.
When is
half
Trump's,
this country would
sentence-
half this country would vote for him.
His sentencing is coming up soon.
Whose?
Trump's.
Oh, I think they did say
It's
it.
right before like the debates, 4 days before.
Oh,
the
it sure
debates.
is. It sure is. He's already Hunter's not scheduled yet, so he won't
Wait,
qualify.
So wait, if they're gonna sentence him and he's going directly to jail, so he's not even gonna make the debate.
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
Who say he going to jail? He could be sentenced to straight probation. He could be sentenced to house arrest. He could be. I don't think they're gonna give him any jail time, and that's what makes it bad. That's what makes it bad.
Did Hunter? Get
It would
any
be
jail?
truly
Oh,
wild
no,
if they
he-
did.
He hadn't been sentenced yet.
It would be some wild. It would be some wild historic moments.
No, but
It'd
it's
be-
not like he can't be sentenced to time. Come on now.
Right.
He can under the law. Oh, I'm sorry. We don't use law anymore. We use what? Shamockery. Sham and a mockery. Shamockery. So here's the thing. They can be running mates.
They can run that prison.
Hey, they could. Y'all could run the cell block. That's what y'all could run, and you could be
Were they
president.
both convicted in New York?
I don't know. I thought Hunter Biden was convicted by the feds in D.C. I don't know. I don't even know where. Hunter Biden-
Wait,
Producer,
what
where
those-
was Hunter Biden's conviction?
wait. What? Isn't that if it's D.C. then those are liberal prosecutors.
That means people are following the law. Why do you think liberals don't follow the law?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that for them to read his book, somebody had to read the book and be like, voila, I found a crime. And
No. Let me tell you how it went. So, opposition research during a campaign caused them to say, what about Hunter Biden? You remember that?
Okay.
What about Hunter Biden? So they kept digging. And they dug until they found some buffoonery.
Okay.
And then they went to the department and said, Department of Justice, we need you to prosecute. And Department of Justice says, there's no there. We can't do it. And then Department of Justice, under the pressure, the political pressure that is, says, all right, we're going to prosecute. Then Department of Justice says, all right, we'll reach an agreement. Then they reach an agreement, and what the judge say? The judge said, nope, I'm not going to accept that plea deal. Go to trial. So the judge forced a trial in this case by refusing to accept the negotiated plea, which if you weren't Hunter Biden, you would have been accepted.
or it's so,
Or you wouldn't have been
or you
charged
wouldn't. If you was a black,
anyway.
if you was a black person.
Now, girl, you
you'd
know
have
race
gone
put
straight
you
to
in jail every day,
Right.
all day, and twice
So
on
do
Sunday.
I have any?
I'm talking about another white man because we're talking about a white man.
We gotta,
Can we stick with white on white?
right, white on white.
Yeah, we don't want
crime.
false equivalencies, as you
Right.
always say.
That's the false equivalency.
But yes, the average white Joe would not have to worry about his daddy being Joe
Right.
and having to go to trial because he wanted to plead. He wanted to plead. He accepted the negotiated deal. The judge wouldn't accept the negotiated deal. So he ended up at trial, ended up convicted.
The state is Delaware.
Delaware, there.
Oh, okay.
There.
Was the judge appointed by?
I have no clue, but
Was this a superior court judge or this is federal, right?
Yeah.
Because it was.
This is federal.
yeah,
'cause
this
this
ATF.
has to do with guns.
Yeah, ATF.
So,
I don't know if the judge was a Trump appointee. I don't
go
know.
ahead and look that up for
I
the
don't
people.
know. Do you think it makes a difference?
Yeah.
Wow. So that means
Because
gone
all
are
of
the days.
this stuff just seems so.
So no
everybody-
judge is bipartisan. I'm
Nah,
starting to
I don't
agree
think
with you though. I'm
That's
starting to
why
agree. Those are bipartisan races. Listeners, I don't want to get you confused. Judges' seats are bipartisan seats because you have to judge cases for Democrats and Republicans. And you're not permitted under the law to judge a case based on the party affiliation. You must judge a case based on facts, evidence, and the law. Period. Are judges across this country violating their oath of office? Where are they? I don't know because I'm not the federal government, nor have I put a corporation together to investigate who's ruling based on political affiliation. But I can tell you, you're dealing with a human being. And anytime you're dealing with humans, humans do human things, even if they're horrendous. Okay? That's your free part. But,
Appointed by Donald Trump.
okay, makes sense.
Makes sense.
Makes
See?
sense.
There it
Makes
is.
sense.
Because Delaware seems like a blue state, and the prosecutors seem like
No, but they had a deal. If the prosecutor didn't want to do a deal, he didn't have to do a deal. He could say, no, let's go to trial. I'm not offering you anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The prosecutors seem
They tried.
blue.
They tried.
Well, no, but the prosecutor didn't have a choice.
Right, because the judge wouldn't accept. Neither
Right.
party had a choice. Because
Right,
once
right.
a judge says, I'm not accepting a
Right,
negotiated
because
deal,
the judge was.
there's no choice but to go to trial. You have two choices, plea or trial.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, clients ask me that all the time. So if I don't take the deal, what's my options?
Trial.
Sometimes I want to laugh, and I'm like, don't laugh. Don't make light of these
This is a
situations.
horrible picture of her too. They
Oh.
did her dirty.
She looks bad.
Is
Oh
that
my
what the
God.
face she makes?
Yeah, I'll throw
You
up
gotta
the
put
face.
it up
I
on
You
got
camera.
throw her up on the camera so the listeners can see
Yes.
her facial expression in real time. Thank you, producer. So, Hunter, good luck to you, sir. Hopefully, you too will get probation.
I was gonna say, you think he's gonna have?
Oh, that
something
is a horrible
outside?
picture. She look like a man in a wig, don't she? Though
Oh, that face.
she looks like a man in a wig.
Her face looks concerned. Like, you sure about this one? You sure about me?
Her face look like Glanville.
Yeah, that didn't look
how
like a smile.
Glanville should be.
Based on arrested,
She's like, you sure?
ma'am,
sure
you
about
have a Glanville face in your court
She
document.
ain't put no.
Yeah, they could have
she
done a
ain't put
better
no effort.
job. Oh
She
my
ain't put
God,
no
you could have,
effort in.
other than putting on the black robe. It's like she rolled right out of the
It
bed.
like, no, it's like she ran from the park to put the robe on. Just
Did
let
y'all
me-
take
she
the
got her
picture at the
yoga-
park?
She
No,
had her yoga
they
outfit
took it
on.
at the yoga.
She no, they got the background. No, she took the yoga.
No, they just
They
put the
just-
background in later.
Oh my
Yeah, but good luck to you, sir. All right, so there is a former. Okay, so how do I say this, listeners? There is a attorney here in Atlanta, Georgia, who has been convicted for being part of a scheme stealing $15 million worth of PPP. Do you think, Diva, that a lawyer who represented the city should have known better?
I'm starting to think, what monies was you taking away from the city? Like if you that scandalous, I'm pretty sure you was up in
You
your
just didn't
fees.
get caught with the last thievery.
But because that just takes you back to, the previous mayor who got caught in all that drama down in Atlanta,
Oh,
Hakeem.
oh. He
Kasim.
didn't do no. Kasim Reed
He didn't
did
get-
not get prosecuted.
No, he didn't. But what I'm saying,
So
is the
he was
people
smart.
around him,
He was
the
smart.
people around
He let
him.
everybody around him commit
Right.
all the crimes.
Right. The people around him were the people.
Yes.
And she was probably around too, committing them crimes.
Maybe she saw that and felt like, well, if Kasim didn't get prosecuted, I won't get prosecuted. A lot of times when you see folk getting away with stuff, listeners, don't try it. Don't try this at home. Because we all don't have the same luck. You know, somebody speeding on the highway right now getting away with it. And somebody else is getting pulled over. You just might be the person that got pulled over.
Right.
Well, this attorney got pulled over. And now she's about to do time. Oh my
15
God.
You can't pay $15 million.
No. 15 million is not enough for me to do time. It would have to be 100.
You can't pay $15 million back. Because if you got $15 million, you ain't invested that money.
I need 100 million.
Did you
So that
invest that money
generations to come.
Like, if she was to pay the $15 million back, do you think they would still charge?
No, they not playing with you.
Oh, okay.
You still got to pay it back and go to jail.
But I paid it back.
No, that's like shoplifting. Did you know that there's a civil component to shoplifting that most people don't know?
What is that?
Listeners, when you get arrested for shoplifting, the statute in the state of Georgia permits the person who you stole the property from, if you damaged it, to come after you civilly. So here's what a lot of stores were doing improperly. You would get arrested for shoplifting. The shoes were confiscated by the security and law enforcement. There's no damage to the shoe. And you would get a letter in the mail from the attorney for the store saying, you need to pay us this money to settle the claim against you. Yeah. What claim? So here's what people used to do. They used to cut the check because they thought if I cut the check, that means it's going to end the criminal case against me. Not realizing, no.
That's just a plea to get.
That's separate. That's the store saying, I need money for damages associated with the shoplifting you committed. So I had a case where my client got a letter and sent the letter to me. And I said, they can't do this. They got the shoe back in its original condition and probably already sold it. So when I wrote a letter back to the lawyer and said, please provide the evidence of the damage. Yeah, y'all hear that? Crickets.
Yeah.
He went away. And we proceeded with the criminal case, and that was it. But it's crazy because my client called and said, hey, if I pay this, does that mean that other? No. It just means you don't owe any restitution in the criminal case. But it's amazing how these people operate. So, moral of the story, listeners, don't shoplift.
Well,
if you do, there's a civil component.
Yeah.
Because remember now, if you shoplifting a mirror and you smash it on your way out when you're running, yeah, you owe that money.
Right.
You owe that money.
Right.
Because you damaged the property and they can't sell it. So now they can say, hey, we'll settle the civil part. And the good news is they don't get to double dip. So if you settle it civilly through their civil attorney, then when you get to trial, you don't have to, or you get to the criminal case, they don't get restitution.
So lawyers,
because you've already made them whole.
So lawyers just be sending out letters.
Hey,
and
send them,
they
send
be
them,
fishing
send them.
to see who they
send
can
them. Because can you imagine how many people pay it and then go to court, especially if they didn't hire a lawyer?
I feel like that's what's happening in my little home association case. That they was like, you pay this, you good, but we just put you on a lawsuit, and I ain't heard nothing else from them.
Honey, don't play with them. They'll put you on a calendar and not say a word, and you will miss that court date.
Well, no, I'm looking at that civil
docket.
All
pay
the
attention.
time.
Pay attention.
No, I'm saying I'm talking about the opposing party hasn't responded to me on anything.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Because they will schedule you. Okay? Yeah. And you might want to look at the discovery rules too, because part of why they might be ignoring you is that some rules don't apply in magistrate court. In lower courts.
I'm in superior court.
No. If you're in superior court.
No. I'm in the superior
court. No,
court.
if you're in superior, discovery listeners is part of superior court. Okay? Let me say that into the mic so nobody gets it confused.
Superior court.
No. Superior court, discovery is in civil matters.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, no, they don't get away with that.
Yeah, it's over. What is it? Over like 500? You gotta go to superior.
Excuse me. You just gonna drink to that? That is over 500. Yes.
I was trying to pay. I not paid them.
We never drank to Brian.
Let's drink to
Kudos to Brian, because you can't drink the superior court.
I gave them a good faith payment of a good $1,000.
You're making a mess. You're just making a mess.
You did that.
My goodness. Ugh, you just rubbing off of me.
A good faith payment of $1,000. And
No consults for the co-diva on Diva Court. So I'm going to shut her down, listeners.
Keep it moving.
And keep it moving.
You know what we should talk about?
What we need to talk about?
That debate.
Let me tell you something. Listeners, there was a Republican debate in, is it Chicago?
It was in Colorado.
Colorado. Same thing. CC. Colorado Republican debates.
It was the oath.
They were representatives. They were running for state representative.
Mm-hmm.
And
no.
yeah, they were
state. They weren't running
representative
for
for their. I thought they were running for state representatives.
I thought it was U.S. representatives.
No. At least I don't know. They were running for something.
Okay.
They need to run for cover. That's what they need to run for. So there was a debate that happened.
One was running and one wasn't covering. Okay.
So during the debate, the moderators got famous, or should I say infamous, because of how they were handling the candidates. And when I say handling, I mean handling the candidates. There were candidates who had been arrested for, well, there was a candidate that got arrested for a DUI. And how the moderator introduced it.
Oh, we have to see it.
Is too juicy for us to say. So listeners.
You resigned your position as House Minority Leader after your drunk driving arrest surfaced this year. And my question is not about what you did while drunk, which for anybody who missed it was speeding up I-25 at 90 miles per hour so fast a trooper thought that you were trying to race him. Then you reached for your gun during the traffic stop. You asked the trooper to call the State Patrol's lobbyist. Then you asked him to keep the arrest out of the media. My question to you is about what you did while sober. You did not disclose your drunk driving arrest to your Republican colleagues when they were considering you for leader and electing you.
Yeah.
What does that tell voters about your judgment?
Well, thank you, Kyle, for that. I mean, I think this is a little bit of you guys being a little sore because you didn't catch this for quite some time. This was all public knowledge, right? So I didn't disclose, I didn't hide anything from anybody. And I'll be honest with you, I had 2 seniors in high school at that time, and they didn't need to go through that publicity. I also was not even elected to that position at that time. So,
okay. So, listeners, that was how you moderate. Before you tell us what you really did while you was drunk, and let me tell them what you did while you was drunk. You was driving too fast. That the troopers thought you were racing them. That is hilarious. All right, so listeners,
wait, the thank you.
No, the thank you part is just ridiculous. That's so robotic. That's so robotic.
It is.
Your response shouldn't have been to thank him. You should have said, "Look, moderator, I understand you want to address that for the voters, so let's address it."
Or I know you want to be salacious.
Yeah. That sounds like you're just nitpicking because I did not get the job. Okay, so let's be clear, I didn't get the job.
And he said,
and I had 2 high school seniors. Feel
said,
sorry for me.
He said, "You're just sore that you didn't catch it."
Who would say that?
Right.
That like I did something
Because the
bad
comeback,
and y'all are mad.
It's because the comeback is not good. It's just like, I can't hear you over your
Eyelashes. Okay.
What?
Well, he didn't have a butch body, so thank God.
Oh,
well, maybe he did. Barrel body.
But he wasn't a bleach blonde.
No, he was not bleach blonde. He's just a
little
barrel
highlighted.
body.
He had a
Yeah, that's hilarious. Listeners, we can't show you the whole thing, but if you have some time and you want some comedy regarding a debate, that is a good debate.
Apology tour, like a SNL skit.
It did. It really did.
Yes.
When I kept watching, I kept saying, "This is fake. This is fake."
But here's the issue. It got worse.
It did. It got worse. Listeners, there was another candidate, and she is right here.
But wait, before we play that, he threw her under the bus. Well, it wasn't as bad as that theater situation.
That was about the softest reference that he could have made, but do you want to talk about the theater thing?
Sure. So, Kyle, I certainly have owned up to my night out in Denver. And, I've gone on that public apology tour, and I'm grateful for the mercy and grace that has been shown, but I'm not going to continue to live life in shame and be beat up
you're
by
not
this.
ashamed
And you
of
know, I would like to go back
living in it.
to
We're
my
actually not gonna,
legislative record for just a second.
we're not gonna do that. You had plenty of time to answer the question. You chose not to.
Sure.
That's fine. I just want to make sure.
I'll have
And
more
you
time.
have
Don't worry.
apologized for the theater incident.
I
And
certainly have.
And I just want to make sure. Did you apologize for the behavior that went on with you
Well,
and your
see, I
date or the
apologize,
vaping,
Kyle.
or did
So-
you,
so,
or did
Kyle,
you
I heard you in a
apologize, or pardon me, or did you apologize for lying to voters about what you did that night and the disrespect that you showed to service workers that night? What specifically were you apologizing for?
I don't believe there was disrespect. There were things that were absolutely taken out of context.
There's video of your interactions with service workers. I'm asking,
Right.
are you
well,
apologizing for the lying to
it's been reported
voters
that I
or the
flipped someone off, and I did
business?
not. So I mean, I think it's been very mischaracterized. I'm apologizing for you, Kyle Clark, getting footage and releasing that. And people seeing this in a very private moment.
Certainly. It was very important to figure out
but
whether you were
Kyle,
telling
listen,
the truth
you just had
or
an
whether a
interview
public
recently with
agency was
CityCast
lying about your
Denver.
conduct.
You just
Either
had
way was
an
very
interview with
important for
CityCast
folks
Denver,
to
and you
find
were
out.
saying how disgusting
Thank you
it
very
is
much. We're going
to
to talk about
record someone
earmarks
without their
Congress.
knowledge.
Is she?
Hey.
Wait.
First of all,
Wait.
listeners, let me explain to you what she was caught doing. She was in a theater. There were service members who were supposed to be in this theater. It's supposed to be some type of performance that she was supposed to be in attendance of.
Beetlejuice. It's for the family.
It's a Beetlejuice. It's a family event, okay? She is in there with her boyfriend. He is groping her breast because there are cameras that are capturing what's going on. She is groping his crotch, and that is happening inside a public theater while she's vaping. And they put her out. So she now wants to say it was a very private moment. Ma'am.
With all
All
the
those
rows of
people, and I'm talking about rows. When you look at the
was
footage,
asked,
there
"Can you
were
stop vaping?"
rows of
And she
people
said
in
no.
there. It was a full house. It was
a full
packed.
house.
And she was in there going, it's a private moment. She thought she was at home, at a home theater. But ma'am, you were not at a home theater. But this moderator boy, they need him for the presidential debate that's coming up because he knows how to cut a candidate off and introduce one's indiscretions very well.
Ma'am, you had your time.
I've
You didn't
never
wanna
seen
talk about
so
it.
much animosity.
Yes.
ever
Hey,
delivered.
but you know what? He is professional animosity.
He does. And then he was like,
He is
Look,
professional.
she was like, you were just on I'm like you about to give us some dirt about him. You was just on a panel talking about how it was inappropriate for people to be filmed and not without their permission, ma'am.
Ma'am, you were filmed with your permission because you knew the cameras was rolling in a public theater
You're in the
where you
public.
thought groping your man's crotch was the right thing to be doing. These candidates are off the chain. Like, welcome to America.
It's
The new one.
going down, honey.
The new one. You remember one time we used to have ethics in offices?
I remember the time where they didn't say the B word on TV.
That's true. Television
So
is changed. It's changed.
it's
There were things you could not
the
say.
more
On the radio, you couldn't say certain
Yeah.
things on the radio. They
now they
loosened that.
bleep out the word, but you already know the words that's being said.
But they've loosened the reins on certain words too. There were certain words you couldn't say, you could say now. Because I'm hearing them now on the radio and I'm like,
I hear the N word.
I thought you couldn't say that.
I hear the N word on there. They bleep it, but it'd be like,
Wonderful.
no, bleep.
I know that ass has been completely.
Oh, yeah. They let that in.
They let that one all the way up in.
ASSBITCH.
All the way in.
All
the way in. Check. Check.
It's like the fabric
Check.
of society is just disintegrating.
I'll be fine. It wasn't there in the first place.
That's true. We were just
It
pretending.
was a veil. There was a veil.
It was a pretend veil.
These people need to.
We
bring it
were
back.
pretending. Okay. Remember, the church has had its few scandals. Ask the Catholic Church. They're still dealing with theirs. Cutting checks left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe we should let priests get married, but that's your free part.
Who is we?
Ladies
They
and
choose
gentlemen,
not to.
here on Diva Court, we've covered, and it's time for your bed. And you don't turn the show off yet because you've got to find us somewhere on Spotify,
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
Google us.
And don't forget to look for our videos every Wednesday when we push them real good.
That is today.
And where do we push them?
On YouTube
And Facebook.
and Facebook.
There you go. There you
So
go.
don't miss them. Don't miss them. Don't miss them. And if you miss them, go back and record them and watch
And
them.
what do they need to do? Like, share, and what?
Like, share, subscribe,
Subscribe.
or else you'll miss out on all this edutainment that we're pushing. Think about it. Get your funny where you get your money. Okay, there's no money coming here.
It's getting too late.
But just get your funny.
rhymes are
I'm
not
getting
tight.
late. I'm getting late. They tight because they right. And as we say here on
We
Diva
about to take
Court,
a flight.
we about to fight. We will drink to that. And you drank when it wasn't even time to drink.
I was drinking a Hunter Biden going to jail.
You Hunter Biden, you about to apply for ATF.
I
Just don't buy no gun after you had that drink,
Right.
because you'll go to prison.
We got to drink to that.
I like the morning. See, there you go.